1994, Barbara Harris founded a program called Children Require a Caring Community, CRAC. Today she calls it Project Prevention. This program focuses on drug-using women and offers them $300 to get sterilized or use certain forms of long-acting birth control. Our concern is that this program spreads misinformation and prejudice. So 5 of us, mothers who have struggled with drug addiction, decided to come together with our children to share our thoughts about our lives and Project Prevention. We can't parent, we shouldn't have any rights.
Bad mothers.
That we are lazy, that we are non-educated.
That we're irredeemable, that we can never change.
We're worthless.
What comes across to me, particularly, is a profound judgmentalism about the parents, particularly the women, the drug-abusing women who are having children. There seems to be a sort of a disgust with these people.
In the beginning, that was what it was.
Have you changed then? Because in 1998, when you told Marie Claire magazine, we don't allow dogs to breed, we spay them.
They don't just have 1 and 2 babies, they have litters.
Your stance suggests, rather, that there is a portion of the population that is not worthy of reproducing.
Because it is true. These women don't just have 1 or 2 children. These women have, I met a woman in New York that had 21 children in the system. So people don't realize that these women don't just have 1 or 2 children and stop. They have a child every year.
My name is Davika, and I live in Queens, New York.
My name is Saber, and I live in the Bronx.
My name is Mary, and I live in New Jersey. My name is Twan, and I live in Birmingham, Alabama.
My name is Dinah, and I live in Queens, New York.
I know for a fact that it damages babies because I've known the children who have feeding tubes in their stomachs, tubes to breathe with. So it does damage their children.
The stereotypes that people have been saying are not really true.
It's all just hype from the media. None of it, I think, it's research-based.
My babies are not damaged at all.
I was exposed to drugs, and I'm in honors. And my brother, he's a gifted child.
I came out pretty smart, and well, I may be a little short than everybody. 14 going into high school, very short, yeah.
I'm fine, and I know my brothers are fine. My oldest brother graduated the highest in his class, and you know what I'm saying? We're all good.
And I turned out fine. I don't have any health problems. I go to college now in Oregon.
I love proving people wrong that there's such thing as crack babies, because look at me. I mean, there's nothing wrong with me. The only thing that's really wrong, what do you call it?
You have pink hair.
There's a certain portion of society that are not responsible enough to reproduce.
Before we go in, are you suggesting that any woman who has abused drugs is incapable, by definition, of being a decent mother?
While using, she can't be a complete mother.
They only see one thing. They see a poor, Spanish, white, black, whatever, drug addict. They don't see a mother who loves her kids, who would give her life for her kids.
You can't really say something about somebody and you're not there with them. Like, we lived with these people.
When you see your mom being a mother and a father at the same time, that's when you know that she's good parenting.
I just think there needs to be so much more people trying to keep families together instead of taking them apart.
All we need is for you to hear us. Hear the real story. Don't see all of the other stuff.
hear the story. I continued being the PTA president. I continued to volunteer in the school district, even though I was using drugs.
I think we've all made mistakes? Yes, most definitely we've made mistakes. But even not using drugs, I make mistakes. I'm human. I will make mistakes until the day I die.
It's not about the women. People need to understand that this is not about women to me. It's about children. These women, it's their choice to use drugs, but the babies don't have a choice.
And when you do not care about the mother, there's absolutely no way possible for you to care about that child. And Barbara Harris has said it over and over again. I don't care about them.
It's not going to work if we don't get the women in the treatment programs. You're assuming every woman that's a drug addict is looking for treatment. They're not.
The thing that gets me is I looked for help. I wanted help because I wanted my children to have a better life than I had. And there was no help there for me.
You know, don't take my kids from me. Help me. Help me get treatment.
Instead of me getting the help I needed, I was being treated like I didn't deserve to be a mother.
I called so many treatment centers when I had Joseph and Nisa, my first two children, and they had like a 1.5 year waiting list.
I'm glad that I was never approached to be sterilized, because if I was, I wouldn't feel the self-worth and the self-value that I feel today. And I know that, like, I'm sitting here because of my past experience. I know that I went through a bad time in my life, but I'm in a good place in my life.
And I just look at these kids, and Project Prevention would have them disappeared. What a planet, what we would have lost if these kids weren't here.
Although Project Prevention may have good intentions, taking away our ability to procreate is not the solution. The solution, as we know from experience, is educating ourselves and others, staying informed, and having access to appropriate treatment when we or our loved ones need it.